Hi everyone, a very happy Women's Day, and it's a special occasion, especially for Fervent Motorsports, because we are here to break the bias. So it's a special occasion, and we are celebrating ladies in motorsports, or we can say drivers. So that's where we are at right today, and we have a very special occasion. The whole world is celebrating Women's Day, yes. It's a special occasion. Hi, my name is Joe Baath, and before the guests join in, let me give you a little background. Fervent Motorsports is where we have a lot of motorsports related happenings that we've got. So we have three special guests. I will introduce you to them one by one. First time, we have a very special person who has been in motorsports for a while. She is also been a person who has been kind of, a thing so much that multifaceted we कह सकते हैं हम. We can say that. She is the member of the Inner Wheel Club of Bangalore, state level swimmer, yes, a traveler by choice, a hardcore rallyist. Now that kind of rings a pom pom in my head, yes. And she's a true fashionista as well, but rally is what interests me because that is a cliche which she's breaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce you to Miss Bogadi. Ashwini Bogadi is her name, and we're gonna bring her on. Hello. Hey, how you
Hi, very
doing?
good evening.
Very good evening to you. A happy Women's Day. I wish it was
Thank
every
you
day a happy
so
Women's
much.
Day, actually.
And wishing all my participants who are women as well, happy Women's Day.
It is so good to see you. Um, I mean, wow, yoga and motorsports kind of don't go together, don't do it?
Well, I think physical fitness is pretty important to be a part in any of the rallies, I would say. Um,
Yes.
Mind meditation does make a huge difference to be calm.
Yeah, hey, yes, I mean, I think fitness, yes, I've kind of realized it now during the lockdown. Yes, you need that. But otherwise, yes, mental fitness is more important, see, and to be calm,
Yes.
yeah, yoga. Yeah, the breathing thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that works. Yeah,
Yes.
that's something. Hey, so good to see you. And of course, we have Dr. Saab in the house. I'm going to get her on as well. And she's Dr. Shivani Pruthvi. And in 2018, she participated in the Volkswagen Motorsports India AMEO Cup. And she was one of the first all-women racing team. Why women racing team? I mean, I don't know. See, there's a bias, you know, which I would say I've seen some people driving really well. And Asia Auto Gymkhana Championship, she's also the first female racer there. And she was 19 years old when she started her motorsports. Thanks to her father. Let's get her on. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I wish there was a Formula One engine going boom, boom, and we could get Dr. Shivani Pruthvi here. Hey, Shivani, how you doing? My name's Joe, ladies. A very special day. So good to see you. So good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You
Hi,
know,
Ashwini. How are you doing?
Hi, Shivani. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you. Wish you the same.
Thank you.
it is so nice to see. Actually, you guys know each other. Obviously, I mean, the motorsports world is so small, actually. I've been too busy up north, so haven't had a chance to come towards Bangalore or Sholavaram or all these places, actually. But hey, there is a connection. I don't know. There's an aura of motorsports that's common between all of us, you know. And okay, can we start with Shivani? Because okay, let's start with age. Get the ladies first, fine. I mean, you're the one I'm going to be asking questions from. But Shivani, tell us how did you start this? I mean, that's an interesting thing because you're too young, but you're a doctor, right?
Yes, I am. So basically, it all started from nowhere because I was into sports growing up. From a child, it's not just been academics for me. I've always had another side, what do you say? I can say I've been a skater, I've been an NCC. So I had something or the other. So
Uh-huh.
when I joined my MBBS, it's all of a sudden it had become like I had nothing but to do just other than studying. So I was really frustrated with the same monotonous lifestyle that I was leading all of a sudden, and I was at the hostel that time. So I come home for study holidays is when there was a car parked at home, which was a rally prepared Baleno.
Ooh,
So I was
nice.
talking, yes, I was talking to Dad about the same thing, and he said, "Yeah, we'll just go out for a sprint and try our luck at it." And we just went out. It was one evening. We went to a factory, just drove around, and then he said, if you do the same thing in an autocross, might as well you'll come back home with the podium. Why don't you want? Because he always wanted me to take this path. He was just waiting for me to just say it and get into it. And I mean, it looked like the very best time to get into it. So we drove all the way to Kochi that time overnight. And next day morning, I participated in my very first autocross. That was in 2018. And yeah, I picked up a podium. That I won second in women's category, and that is where it all started from.
So are you telling me the first time you ever tried your hands in competition, you were second in your part of the world in terms of wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Ashwini, tell me about something. Uh, how did that happen to you?
For me, I have always been a kid who wanted to try everything out, jack of all, master of none. So even in school, I remember where our teachers used to say, "Do not participate. We want other kids to get the prizes." I would say, "It's okay, give the prize to them. I want to participate in everything." So that's been the encouragement that I received from parents. But motorsports happened in exactly 5 years back when Times Women Drive started, where the
Oh
TSD
yeah,
rallies
yeah.
was there. And my husband is like, "Why don't you try it out?" I was like, seriously, you want me to drive all the way from Bangalore to Goa? He said, yeah, you should. You should give it a shot. That's wherein the TSD rallies started, and then the autocrosses came in. And right now, the more interest is into off-roading. Off-roading is much more, I would say,
Ooh, nice.
adrenaline pump all the time. And autocross, of course, 2 minutes. But what Shivani does is the sprints and the INRC. That's like, yeah, that's another thing that I want to try and do. But
Definitely.
yes, for this age, I think I'm happy. And for Shivani and other kids, I would say like we have Pragati as well. We have another lady called Shreya in off-roading. These girls have a huge, I would say, future in motorsports.
Wow, 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 wow. Hey, all the ladies who are off-roading. I mean, wow, that's something. In fact, motorsports. I mean, it's been a bias all over the world that ladies happen to be not as good as drivers at these MCPs or male chauvinist pigs. I must say, who
I
think it
wouldn't
that way.
say that, Joe. It's just that we have not pushed in ourselves because if you see from the last 8, 10 years, women have been more vocal right now about what they want. They are
True,
financially independent. They feel they are
true.
empowered. So men have always welcomed us in motorsports. I don't find
Mhm.
it as a father, as a friend, everybody have. Why don't you say something, Shivani?
It definitely is. Whatever she's saying is definitely true. I feel motorsports, as a whole, has shrugged off its overly masculine image that it had carried for so many years. Now, if you come to the tracks, you see women in all parts of the sport. As in, it's not just women racers. We also have women in the mechanics. There are women
Oh
on
yes, oh
teams.
yes, oh
So there
yes.
are VW Motorsports has so many women. Uh, uh, what do you say? Race directors. There's so many things. We have there's a separate wing that's been opened by FMSCI today. It's called the
Hold on,
Women
hold
in
on, hold on,
Motorsport.
hold on, hold on. Why does it look like that both of you have ganged up against me? I think we need to get somebody else in as well. Maybe she is going to take my side to an extent, which I hope not. Ladies and gentlemen, Harshitha Srivatsa is her name. Harshitha Srivatsa. And you know, for her to be a reality show contestant, and then she's been on two-wheelers and four-wheeler championships. So let's get her in, ladies and gentlemen. Harshitha Srivatsaa is also going to be in, and it's going to be 3 against 1. I can predict it for sure. I know that. I know that. Hi, Harshitha. How you doing?
Hi, Ashwini.
Hi,
Hi, Shivani.
Harshitha.
Hi Harshita, how are you?
Oh, I'm
Also,
good.
you three know each other, obviously. That part of the
Harshita
world.
for me was an
Motorsports.
inspiration
I will
growing
just
up
sit and watch. Okay, let's
because
start
I
the
have seen
floor
her
over.
race from a very young age. She literally, when she was racing, she was the only women driver who was actually doing it. And I've seen her drive Chikmagalur stages. I mean, I've always looked up to her. And we also got an opportunity to race together in Spindi, Bangalore. And she was always welcoming. There was no, it's there's a wrong belief that goes around in sports or even in as colleagues that two women cannot be friends. But she was so welcoming when I started. I never felt like I was against somebody.
Hold it right there. In a world which is just a world, maybe two women cannot be friends. We're talking about motorsports. It's a different universe altogether.
Yes.
You know, and that just brings in so much of camaraderie. I mean, happy Women's Day to all of you. And now I
Thank
would
you.
ask Harshita, how did it start for you? Sorry, we started a
Okay, I
little too early.
started, at a really young age. Maybe I was around 8 years old. And it was all because of my dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is my
So yes,
inspiration.
there's always have to be a support. I mean, men do ignore this. Had it not been for my father, maybe I would have not been in motorsports. Had it not been for my family or my father support, they ignore that. But it just becomes an issue that, oh, my father, my husband, or my brother, But okay, right now onwards, let's cut it out. There is no
Okay,
female
no,
driver.
I
There
would
is
like
no
to give
male
an
driver.
example.
No, we're going to be asking drivers some really hard-hitting questions. First thing,
See, now I'm married.
what do
Okay,
you
so I'm
think is...
married now, but I'm not able to race now like I used to before.
I understand.
Like my dad
Family
used to push
pressures.
me and support me, and now people don't understand how it works for me. And I feel it very different. I feel, okay, was I a racer before? I used to drive before, and now I'm like nothing. I'm just a housewife or something like that. But definitely, yes, without my dad, I was like nothing. I'm nothing.
Hold on. Harshita, hang on. I have a feeling that even when you go shopping or I think you drive the car in a field that day. It is like, isn't it? Come on, tell me. You
Yeah,
can be
yes.
honest. See, once a racer, always a racer. But okay, what is your favorite motorsport? All of you three, one by one, please. Take your time.
Sorry, what? I didn't get the question.
Your favorite motorsport, not necessarily that the one you're in.
Okay.
A
Okay,
dream
you
sport,
can go
let's say.
first.
No, I always prefer rallying. Rallying is the best.
I
For
mean, I
me,
have
it's
tried my
more of
hands.
off-roading now.
Okay, I have tried my hands both in racing and rallying, and they're two different. Even though it's just motorsports as a whole, but they're two different games. I mean, the way you go into a race weekend is so different from the way you go into a rally weekend because there are cars with you racing on the same track. But when it comes to rallying, it's a combination of the driver, the navigator. There's a different terrain. So that way, both of them have a lot to offer to everybody who's in the sport. But again, my heart lies in rallying.
I
Interesting.
know. Once the rally,
The interesting thing here is the fact that okay, don't go on my age, but I started when I was a real kid. But I've been following. Oh, hello. Would you like to introduce our special guest, please?
So I guess by another 5 years she'll be live. I guess with you, maybe talking about me.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Okay. Like I was saying, I mean, I've seen international rallies happening. The first time it came out in the north, I mean, we would be so crazy. We would follow it in Himachal and, have our camps. We didn't realize that we were actually those trailblazers who would run after all these and go see that. And then we started motorcycle rallies, and then, of course, rallies per se. But then it is a niche sport. Your family could support you, but only to a certain extent, see? But then again, Indian motorsports is very sporadic. I became an MC, then I started hosting all these supercrosses, autocrosses, off-roaders, and I see you three as contestants now, as competitors in various forms of sports. How do you see the motorsport scene in India as such?
It's very encouraging, I would say, Joe, because see, as we did talk about independency and things like that, but today women are more empowered. They're trying to figure out what are the things that they want to do on their own. And of course, when you talk about family support, yes, I do have a husband who takes care of my kids who've got their exams. I just finished one of the off-roading rally yesterday. I came back at 11 in the morning, driving all night in a Jeep which wouldn't go more than 100. So we do have great support in terms of I have an excellent mother-in-law who takes care of my kids, their studies. So it does start in the family. When they say that charity begins at home, it actually starts at home.
Come on, both of you. How would
Yes,
you take
definitely
that?
starts from home. I hope it will continue for me also, like get with Ashwini.
Dr. Saiba.
Yes, Harshitha. Everybody is just waiting for you to get back because there's so much that the sport has got to offer. And then I think there is no age barrier or gender barrier as such, because motorsports as a whole in India is growing. It's not like other sports that it's just not women who are not in the sport. And if you take motorsports as a whole, there are not many men who are aware of the sport in itself. There are not many people. There are not many people who know that there's a discipline in India called motorsports. If you go around asking people how many cricket stadiums are there in India, you can go around asking kids about it. But ask them how many racetracks are there. There's just 3, but not many people know about it. So
hardly people know about racing.
What I feel is motorsports in itself as a whole is growing, and there are so many new tracks that have been given way and they're coming up. So hopefully maybe in another 5-6 years, it is gonna take mainstream sport. It is gonna become a mainstream sport. Now we have Mumbai Falcons who have taken Indian kids to Dubai. There are so many young children of age 15, 16 who are racing in the international level. Before it was hardly 1 or 2. So that way there is growth in the sport, and there is so much that the sport has got to offer.
I love this passion. I just love this passion. Finally, I am speaking to a community who understands motorsports. Now, there's somebody called High on Throttle, and their question, High on Throttle, says how someone start to be in rally. Like for me, I have interest, but I don't know how to do this. Now, it's going to be a long answer, I know. Mr. High on Throttle, we will give a minute each to these ladies. We'll start with the one on top, right on my screen. Ashwini, if you could start with this.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
The question is, he wants to go into rallies. And High on Throttle says, I don't know how to do that.
Today, right now, we have so many groups on Insta. You just have to join in anything, one group, and you are there in every possible group. There are 20 TSD rally groups are there. There are so many off-roading groups are there. So it's just one step that they need to take to connect on Insta or Facebook saying, how can I get connected? That's it. And they'll be there in every group possible.
Shivani.
Motorsports is an expensive sport. That is like an open secret. So if somebody wants to start rallying, I think you would have to start with the very basic, like how for a racer it is karting. I would say for somebody who wants to get into rallying has to start with autocrosses, because autocross is a platform that is where you can drive your own street car. It's not necessary that you need to have a rally prepared car, or you need to spend like the entry fee, everything, that you need not have a racing suit. All it takes is a helmet and a glove and a car, your street car. You can go and maybe try out your best, and that's when you get connected to people. That's when you get into the community, is when you start. So I would say autocrosses. And today you can see almost every weekend there is an autocross happening, especially in the state that we live in, especially in Bangalore. In a city like Bangalore, there's an autocross happening almost every week. So just take your car out and try your luck. That is what I would say.
Harshitha, what do you
Yes,
have
I would
to?
go with Shivani because, yeah, rallying is really expensive. For beginners, especially, they'll be shocked to know the prices. They'll have to spend every day, they'll have to spend until they get a prepared car. You'll have to start with autocross, definitely, yes. And they will experience a lot, and they'll get to know basic things.
I mean, that is where
And
we all started. That's how we started.
I think that's how we all started, really, and then it's just ongoing, corrections and changes that you do to yourself and to your budget and to your vehicle. When you see other people. Now, I've been doing a lot of autocrosses for Chandigarh Motorsports Association. I'm from Chandigarh, actually. So in this part of the world, we've got Hari Singhs and Rohitas Kumars and Sunny Siddhus and all that. So these are all buddies, like brothers from another mother. But then again, whenever you meet, either you were just too concentrating on the cars, or just conversation about which gets macho. This is the first time I was spellbound, and I was thinking, like, well, they know more how to get into a sport than somebody else would. So I hope High on Throttle gets that. Okay. Radical Squadron 46 has a question for you, ladies. Why riders going towards sponsors and doing their trips? Is that a healthy business for brands? I would not know. Why would they say that? That riders are getting sponsorships, and is that a healthy? Okay, let me read the question again. Why riders going towards sponsors and doing their trips? Is that a healthy business for brands? I think this is more like
it's a different question for motorsports, Joe. There are a lot of other riders who get these kind of sponsorships where they go on trips. In motorsports out here, we get sponsored by companies like MRF for that specific, I would say, lap. Like MRF did sponsor a couple of women for one of the INRCs. So what they're talking about, rides are totally different. We don't get sponsored for our personal rides.
Out of syllabus, my friend. Radical Squadron, sorry, it was.
Wish it was that way, though.
Out of syllabus right now. We're only talking about motorsports. Okay, yeah. Now the pertinent question here is, how hard was it for you to get sponsored the very first time? We'll start again with Ashwini. How hard?
I've not got sponsored till date because I'm not there yet. But of course, Shivani has been sponsored. Of course, she's into much more different, I would say, sprints and INRCs. But even INRC, I think, Shivani, we don't get sponsored.
You got my question wrong. Again, you got my question wrong. Not like that,
okay.
Gentlemen. Sponsorship is a monetary help or a help in kind of any sorts for you to pursue.
Nothing.
No, it could be sponsored by your family. It could be sponsored.
For me, it's always been me.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, let me start my car.
But of course, I'll tell you the most valuable thing that a family has given. The most valuable thing, it's not about money, it's the time that they've given us.
God bless. See, that's also a sponsorship.
Exactly.
And this is a thought, which is a very beautiful thought. God bless you, man. God bless you. Pertinent to you, Ashwini, tell us. One more thing.
About?
You said you haven't started yet. But
when I say started yet, let me tell you, there are autocrosses, no doubt about it. There are TSD rallies. Today I was supposed to be in a rally. It moved on to Sunday. I'm going to be a part of it.
Okay.
But it purely depends on the time for us as well. As a working woman, 5 days a week, I get only weekends. I either put holidays and go on, but sometimes that mother's instinct, which Harshitha can understand, Am I doing something wrong? Am I being a bad mother? Am I leaving the kid going and trying to do things on my own? Am I wrong in pursuing my inspirations and aspirations right now? So there are a lot of things that as a whole, as a person, it makes a lot of things and we try to judge on it. But at one given point of time, we think, okay, fine, let's do it. It's fine.
Nice. What a thought-provoking thing it was, because it's hard to balance it out, you know. And hey, God bless you. You did such a great job on that.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Shivani, Dr. Shivani. You were the one who was pointed at. She's the one who already had a sponsorship. How hard was it?
Okay, so finding sponsorship as a whole is difficult, because when you go out to people to explain what exactly you're doing, the only thing they get out of it, okay, what do I get back out of sponsoring you?
Yes.
Which you don't have an answer to, because it's the media coverage is really less, and somebody who's willing to put in money on you would want a feedback. So the only platform that a person in India in motorsports can use is Instagram. And now the whole world literally has changed, and it's all about the social networking and the connections that you have. So for me, I would say I was lucky enough when I started my INRC career. There were teams that used to be there before have come back. As in now, there are teams that are sponsored by JK and MRF and Yokohama today. But this was not the same scene for Harshitha. When she was rallying, none of the major manufacturing teams were there. So I would say I got into the sport at the right time, maybe, and that is how I managed to get into JK, and I've been sponsored by them. And for all of us, if you put yourself in a place to go out and ask for sponsors, we all know it's impossible to find one.
True that.
And like you said, it is in our heads to just think of family as the biggest sponsor. Somebody who you love is supporting you to be there to manage things for you is the biggest sponsor that any of us can actually have.
Bless you. What a thought. What a thought. Harshitha, how was it about the sponsorship scene for you?
Okay, when I started, as Shivani said, it was very less. You know? The racing itself was like, for women, especially when I used to race, people used to ask me, do you want to do all this? Women shouldn't be doing all this. That was the time when I... And later on, nowadays, when things really got better, I had to, you know... But definitely, yes, nowadays the sponsors are coming up for women especially. And I'm very happy for Shivani. I'm very happy for that. And definitely forward to come back.
Definitely.
Wow, you're blessed actually. Come on, I mean, you want to come back, and I wish I was the Santa Claus who would have said amen, and there you go. Really, I mean,
that's the only sponsor that I had before. And later on, my first rally, I got a car sponsored from one of my friends. And later on, yeah, I used to get from here, from there, you know, from my family also, who wanted me to race. And then, especially when you get a machine, I mean, the car is really prepared, and somebody gives the car to you, trusting you're driving. I would like to thank the person.
yeah, you're blessed, because see, the thing is, it's not about rallying, it's not motorsport, it's the backup and the spares and the prep of the car, which takes so much, you know. And when you said JK tires, yes, I've had a very sweet association in this part of the world. By the way, my Safari's tires have been sponsored by JK tires. I would say that Hardy sir has been so sweet. You know, lockdown was happening, and I called up Hardy sir. I said, my Santa Claus, my Safari needs a new set. He says, give me the address, you'll be sorted. So I don't know if that's a motorsports connection or what, but see, all these sponsorships, like Shivani said, are happening now. Yes, you know, and all these motorsports are really flaring up. Rally being a little special because you need the backup, and then there are stages, and it's a very long distance. You know. Off-roading is coming up so much. I mean, off-roading, I've been off-roading myself. but my Safari doesn't allow me every now and then, gets mad at me. But otherwise, yes, all these sponsors have been coming forward. So I think, Harshitha, very soon when you make up your mind and the baby's a little older, we'd love to see you back in action. What do you say, ladies?
Yes, of course.
Definitely.
Okay, we had a question here for you. The question is from Lorem Ipsam. Okay, Lorem Ipsam says, what was your favorite experience in a vehicle, be it during a competition or every day? What kind of cars? I mean, you like sedans, you like sports cars, you like SUVs, you like bikes. What's your ultimate experience?
Sports car.
Ooh, okay.
100% my rally prepared car.
There you go.
Well, I would say my Jeep for now.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just rolling between all you three and thinking, oh, she said it right. No, she said it right. Yes, that's one of the things. Okay, when it comes to speed, now I'm just going to say a word speed, and the first thing that comes in your mind, I want to know that. Speed.
Adrenaline.
Passion.
Ashwini agrees.
Totally agreed. Yes, adrenaline rush.
Harshitha. Speed means adrenaline.
It is me.
Adrenaline, yes, that's just the outcome. Ladies, come on. Okay, hold on. We've got it all wrong. That is a byproduct of experiencing speed.
I would only say it's all, I think for all three of us, the speed is the passion.
Passion. Okay, yes, that's one acronym. Okay. Speed.
I mean, I think it's just a way of life.
I don't know, motorsports people like you, me, or anybody who's probably watching, I mean, they romanticize this whole thing so much, It's like freedom and speed means okay, somebody said responsibility. I like that one. It was even better, so there's somebody who says no, these are personal questions. I'm sorry. They said like, oh, we saw you at that rally. Why didn't you finish it? Of course, there could be many other reasons, my friend. But anyways, coming back. Motorsports is the word. What comes into your head?
Motorsports is a?
Motorsports. Like I said, speed. Motorsports.
Passion.
Life.
Time for me. For me, it's time.
Okay. Okay, passion was repeated. So passion actually is something which does come into our lives, yes. We have to have that. First time in front of the wheel or on a handlebar, how was it? The first time ever. Do you ever remember your first time?
Maybe I was 2 or 3, so I don't remember the experience.
Well, for me, my
time,
legs were shivering, my hands were shivering. The time I finished it, I was like, I don't want to touch this car anymore. That was the feeling that I had.
Wow. Hanji, Harshitha ji.
Yeah, my first. So it was like, my dad was a racer. He wanted me to get it. So I was back from I was an audience there. And then I all of a sudden hear my telling next it will be Harshitha Gara. I started running from there because I didn't even know how. My dad, he rushed to me. He was like, nothing will happen. Just sit. I was in first gear, I just finished the whole track. That was my first. That was Zen car, yeah. Okay, and then that.
You just got on. The bug just bit, and it went on forever.
Okay, most memorable drive in terms of competition or otherwise. something exciting, something adventurous, because motorsports has been an adventure. Even when you're on a straight road, something happens and you're like, wow, how could that happen to me, you know?
Okay, I finished the event Dakshin there in 2014 or 16, I guess, with dad. My dad was navigating me, and then
Wow.
we had it up well. Then I was wondering, we placed actually. We were like, we were in first place, and me and my dad both were like, we were like shocked. How could we even do this? We had whole of the, we went to the stock tires, and then every 5 minutes I had this puncher issue, and we didn't even know that we placed. Actually, it was one of the best events of my life.
And I was there watching her do all of it from the start to the finish. And for me, I think the best experience so far has been the first rally of Himalayas, and to have been placed third in my category. First time on a gypsy, first time in the Himalayas. And see, driving in the Himalayas literally taught me life, because you're running through the whole vision of life just changed when I finished that rally and came to the finish line. I have finished rallies before, but then I literally was in tears when my navigator said on to the flying finish. I literally was in tears, because that rally was a roller coaster in itself. Driving through those terrains, those huge boulders, riverbeds, and the cold temperatures and the oxygen, the heights that we climbed, those narrow roads, each corner taught me something or the other, and I had a huge lesson learned coming back from Rally of Himalayas. More than rally itself, like I said, it taught me life. It taught me a way of life.
Wow.
So I'll carry it for the rest of my life.
Rally is like,
Wow. Ashwini.
Well, for me, I remember the first autocross, and they said in that it is obviously two cars, and Harshitha is next to me. She's on her modified car, and I'm in my stock car. I'm like, okay, I will try. But it was a great experience. And the second time also, I think I was with her where my car broke down. But it
that was
was,
in my
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, Mysore gravel, if you remember. Yeah. So the second time I was trying to figure out whether somebody did the video, and I was like, okay, perfectly fine. I'm also in that speed. So it's like, though at a younger age, you want to have somebody as your guru where at least try to be out there, pass cross. So that was a real memory for me. Yes.
Now, okay. See, I'm also part of a little entertainment here and there. I host and compare shows. There is a stage fright that I go through, and I know I have to turn it positive. And when it comes to motorsports, and every time you want to ride on that bike, or before you just even switch on the ignition, there are butterflies, and there is this fright. Come on, ladies, all three of you, one by one. How do you overcome and tackle this?
I think it only comes through experience, Joe, or nothing else. More the rallies that you do, you know the knack, you know how to stop your car. Main thing is how you know about your car. What do you know about it? Do you feel the car? If you know it, then I think yes, everything will go in place. And most important is the experience.
True, true, true.
And I think it never gets old. I mean, every time we're at the start of a stage and the navigator gives us a countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're revving the engines, there's a shiver down my spine. I am like, every time it's like a new experience, and it has got something or the other to offer. And that feeling, I think, never gets old. Right from the first time when I was racing and those red lights were on, and then the minute it went off, there's some sort of silence that just passes by, and all you can hear after that is the revs of the engine, and that 1 second of silence that goes through you is what we actually. I mean, it's very difficult to put that feeling into words, but yeah.
Wow. just just the way you said it, I mean, I can just visualize that, and now I can sort of experience and say, dude, this is exactly what happened to you. You're also nervous, and you're just holding the steering, and you revving it up, and it's just green, and you just get that, not only a tunnel vision, you also get a tunnel mind. You know, it's just like, oh, there. You know,
Yeah.
wow. Harshitha, tell us about it.
All the confusions, whatever is happening in my brain will be only till the start. Once we take everything, just you have to try, okay, next corner, next corner, next corner. I won't even my life. I said, please keep quiet. I just want to drive. I actually, I'm like,
Okay, when your father was the navigator, how did that go? I mean, was he like telling you, no, this is how you do it, or
yeah,
like,
Frank. My dad, he never used to ride. So whole of the rally we used to like the gear, shift the gear. He'll be like, shift the gear. I'm like, no, this is the right. I want to go in this gear. Oh my god. Every time, like, uh, like, left to go, right to go. And it's like, I know, don't disturb. This is to make me go while me driving. It was all like good memory now, but back then we used to fight a lot, me and my dad. But yeah.
Whatever happens in the car stays in the car.
okay, stop it, Dad. I'm out of the car. You drive it yourself.
But one stage, the steering was in my hand. I'm like, what is happening? And then my dad literally held the steering wheel. He is the biggest support of my life. Then we were like wondering, and I did the third rally with him. Till then, he used to ride over the beginning, and then start 100 meter left. That is the notes. That is all he had.
You'll always be daddy's little race.
Oh my god. There are a lot of people who joined in, and they're all here listening to you three lovely ladies. What is your dream in the next 10 years? What's your dream event? International event?
Well, I think Shivani and I were supposed to be participating in McLaren's, and I think what, Gujarat, right? I think I was not able to make it because of the work, but yes, that is something as a focus where we would want to. We do have four of them right now who are participating in McLaren, and
Wow.
that is something I think we should look forward to.
And honestly, this thing has to be brought up because Anushriya has made it to the top 11, and that is like an achievement for us as a
Yes.
country itself.
Yeah.
And
Wow, hats off.
that is something that every person in the country, man or woman, should be appreciating today.
Yes.
It's a dream. Yes, it is. It's something. It's probably one of those Hollywood moments, I must say, or maybe the Oscar moments.
And just now, sorry to interrupt. Just now, my mother just came in to say Anushriya has made it to the top 6. So that means she's already in the top 6. Will be racing for McLaren Motorsports and will be trained by the lead drivers of the world. And what more a country can possibly ask for?
Wow. All the people who are watching, I want you to head out your hearts, please. Please press the hearts button right now. I want those hearts just going on for these wonderful. Whoa, there you go. Can you see the screen? I don't know if you can see the screen. There are a lot of people who are just loving the fact. If you were not a motorsports person, what would you guys be doing? Have you ever thought about it?
We have our other work that we're doing. We don't have to think about it. She's a doctor. I'm an HR person. Right now, Harshitha is a homemaker. And of course, she is into, she's a makeup artist. So we have our stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actress.
I always wanted to be in the army.
Wow. But then again, you're all in motorsports. Thank your stars on that. But Harshitha, you were also part of some reality show.
Yes, I was.
PHH. It was hard for me to try and pronounce it because us boys in the north can't do that. Would you want to tell us, please?
Daily life. It means, a girl from city completely, yeah, the village part. What a girl can do there. That was the show. Yeah, I was maybe in 2014.
Okay, active
That was fun.
sports people right now. Well, Ashwini and Shivani, I would like to ask you, any mental preparations before you go into the event? Be
Quite
it
a lot, I would
off-roading?
say. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
One is mental peace, and especially after you see the track, the kind of thing that you have to go through and try to remember things or try to take notes of it, discuss with your navigator. Because as Shivani earlier said, what remains, like what happens in Rome remains in Rome. It happens out here. What happens in the car remains in the car. We do not talk about things. It cannot be a driver's mistake or a navigator's mistake. It will be the car which will go at the end whether we finish or not. So mental preparation very much, and the track, and of course a lot of other things in terms of preparation itself to not forget things.
Rally is more challenging because you're just totally dependent on your co-driver, your navigator, because he's or she is giving out those calls, and they are the ones who are calculating time and everything, and it's just that one on yourself and imagining that somebody's catching up on you or you're catching up on somebody else. It's like it's something that keeps going on. And from the transport section to the competitive, these are two different ways of going about doing things. Interesting about Himalayas is the fact that people in plains cannot drive up in the hills, and people in the hills cannot drive in the plains. So how do you, Dr. Sahib, prepare yourself to? So everything is unknown except for the fact that it's on GPS or you've seen it, and you're just getting a call of your navigator.
Trust is something that is needed in between the driver and the navigator when you're there, because motorsports is a dangerous sport. And if there's no trust between the driver and the navigator, and the trust in the team that you're driving for, and the trust in the machine that you're driving, and I don't think you can reach the finish line without that one particular thing. The speed, the passion, all of that is something else. But first thing that goes into a team being successful is the trust, the comfort zone that you build on each other. Because without the driver, without the navigator trusting the driver, they're not comfortable in the car. So I would say trust for me is the most important thing. And when it comes to mental preparation, for me, going away from my daily schedule, from my life as a doctor to my life in motorsports itself is mental freedom for me. So so that's how it's been.
Wow. A couple of questions just came up in my head. Harshitha, how do you? She somehow, I think, that connection, she's off. Okay, now the both of you. Shivani, I will have to ask you to just hold on and understand off-roading for the rest of the viewers, because I do understand motorsports, yes. Off-roading is a little more restrictive, but very competitive. And it's a special sport because you need a special kind of a vehicle to actually, which needs to be prepped, And I believe Jaisalmer was happening last month. It didn't happen. Do you go to all these
I
places?
have not moved out of Karnataka for off-roading, to be very
Oh, wait,
honest.
Karnataka keeps you busy. There are a lot of events happening there.
There are stock vehicles as well, which can do off-roading the way stock vehicles can do autocrosses as well. But yes, the kind of speed that is required, very much needed in modified vehicles also. Just recent, we were there in Upinangadi in Mangalore, where the fastest was at 5 minutes and 39 seconds, whereas 45 jeeps and 25 of them did not complete. So you can imagine the terrain, what it was. So in motorsports, not just the vehicle, not just the driver, and there is a little bit of luck that also plays an important role in everything. The vehicle gives up, and then you would have done so well, and end the moment the vehicle gives up, and that shatters your complete dream of winning that podium.
Doesn't it? I mean, that luck bit, especially for somebody like an auto. See, I'm an automobile engineer. That's how it interests me, and I got there. But somewhere in the back of my head, yes, there is a thing called luck. You know, it's just I don't know why it's so surreal to even think about it. Wow. Okay, coming back. Well, Shivani, tell me something. Which is a better car for you, a sedan or a gypsy when it comes to rallies?
It depends upon the type of rally that you go into. Because if I am driving the Himalayas and I take a sedan, it doesn't make sense. Because the gypsy is the vehicle that you have to drive in. As in, see, you can just go through the course in the sedan, but the terrain is car breaking. But if you want to drive an INRC, which is more or less about the speeds that you do, it's definitely a car, like a Polo. I drive an IV Tech prepared by Race Concepts. It's like the third ever IV Tech that's been prepared in the country. And I've been sponsored by JK. So that way, there's no particular thing or a fixed vehicle that fits into a particular form of sport, but it's again your comfort zone, the way your team has prepared you. The
A little, a little observation when it comes to the Saabs and those crossover vehicles. They kind of fit in between the sedans and the SUVs. You know. So more so than that, I think it would be yes, terrain related, yes, and the suspension kind of goes, and I hope all of us who and especially the people watching us, I hope they are motorsports fanatics. I hope they understand about suspension and the travel and the handling and the terrain. I'm sorry. Some of the people don't even know how to cross a red light. I mean, I'm so sorry about that. Let's talk about safety. How important do you think safety is? I mean, everybody says yes, it is, but then again, safety being looked at is also quite dangerous. You know, you have to have the right amount of roll cages and you know, protection gear and everything. Safety in motorsport.
Before any event, we have pre-event scrutiny where each of our guests, the vehicle, everything is checked as per the regulation. And today, even in India, whatever equipment that we use is FIA protected. I mean, FIA approved. From the helmet to the seat belts to the seats to the racing suit to the inners that we wear. So when it comes to safety, in any part of the world, motorsports, any part of the world, there's no compromise.
Yeah.
Because it is matter of life and death.
Yes, I agree.
So that way, there's absolutely no compromise in the way events are run in India. And FMSCI is definitely is taking in great steps to make sure that safety has been ensured, because it is not an easy task to just pass the pre-event scrutiny anymore.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Okay, ladies, for these upcoming ladies or whoever wants to join in, I mean, come on. I mean, when it comes to competition, everything is just spot on, and you know, who's a guy and who's a lady does not really matter. Yes, there are classes into it, but I would call everybody a racer and everybody a driver. There is no male racer or a female driver, you know, left anymore. For these upcoming motorsports fans or fanatics or who want to try it out, your message, please.
Go first.
Well, I would say keep the passion high. passion is the only thing that will allow you. Maybe the youngsters or even somebody who wants to start their motorsport career at the age of 40 or 50. It is always a passion. That's something that will keep pushing you to keep participating as well. It can be at any age. Just follow your passion.
Doc, can
Definitely.
we have a prescription from you?
I would definitely agree to whatever she said, because it's no longer about the age or the gender. As long as your heart says you've got it and you got to do it, you have to put yourself out there, and there's nobody else who's going to do it for you. If you feel you want it, you have to go out for it and just believe in yourself and then do it. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to push yourself to be there.
Wow. I mean, it's like, I'm just thinking, finally, there are people in other parts of the country who kind of feel so much about motorsports like I do. I mean, there are groups of people, but I see you as the Jones of Arc and, taking the fight forward. You guys are so blessed. I mean, come on, whichever way, you're in motorsports. And I'm biased about motorsports. I do host a lot of cricket events as well, but I am biased towards motorsports. As luck would have it, the India-Sri Lanka match in Mohali, I was the on-ground MC, and I was just dreaming. I was just dreaming if that stadium could be converted into a track. And what all kind of things could have been done. I mean, we could have had an underpass, we could have had an overpass, maybe a slush area. I don't know. This biased about motorsports.
You should.
But then again, hey, thank you.
The rally is happening this weekend.
Weekend, yes.
Yeah.
K1000 is happening this weekend. I'm leaving tomorrow, so you should drive yourself down to Karnataka.
See, I would do that, but somebody who wants to come with me might not. I mean, during the lockdown, I took my safari to Bombay twice in like about 7 days. I would not want to do it alone because I don't think I'll be able to drive non-stop. But yes, what I want to thank you guys is that you guys have kept that passion alive. And tomorrow, whatever you're going for, we, on behalf of Fervent Motorsports, would like to thank you to keep this thing going. And whenever you come back, please share some information with us so that we can be so proudly be putting and showcasing it here. Off-roading, I would have started. Can we start about off-roading? Because back in Chandigarh, we have such beautiful terrain. The foothills, and every weekend, all these boys, Sunny Sidhus and all the, Rohitazes and Sunny Kumars and Hari Bhai and everybody, they get together. They don't include me because they hate my safari to be part of that. They said, get a better vehicle. So I don't know if I can afford one. But yes, this was the pit stop, which was so brilliantly curated by you three lovely ladies. On behalf of Fervent Motorsports, I would like to thank Dr. Sahab, Dr. Shivani Pruthvi. All the best for the rally. Make us proud.
Thank you
Come
so
on.
much.
Yay.
Thank you.
Ashwini, thank you very much. And
Thank
please do
you.
share a lot of off-roading.
Well, I should be telling you that my vehicle is a Punjab registered vehicle. It's a NGCS 550 Mahindra.
It is what? Say that again.
It's a NGCS engine 550 Mahindra. It's a Punjab registered.
I was going to say, just because of the Chandigarh or Punjab North India registered Gadi, we are country cousins now.
Well, of course, I will be going on Saturday to support my women as well for NRC. So I'll see you, Pruthvi and Shivani, on Saturday.
See you there.
God bless you guys. And Harshitha, we thank you wherever you are right now, looking after that lovely baby. Yes. Thank you very much. A happy Women's Day, and make us proud. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
So
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.